Okay, hello, my name is William. Today's video is called What is the Biblical History of the United States of America? Okay? I mean, biblical, right? I want to know how. We need to learn how long people have been into this land. You know, I'm talking about the United States of America, right? My home country, right? Yes. Now, let's get to this. So here's the map of the United States of America, right? Now, the state where I live in California, okay? And I like living in California. California's a good place to live, okay? Okay? And I will keep living in California as long as, well, probably forever, I guess, until I die. Because nothing else I can do anyway. But, you know, so you want to know if you, well, I'll tell you this. Now, I only don't know what. Do you make sense? Well, I want to preach against these atheists first. Now, I'm not sure the atheists believe how long. I'm not sure how long these abolitionists believe that how long we've been in this country. I mean, this land. I think that. Well, I heard that they believe that we've been this land. The people have been in this land for how many years? I think they said it's 15,000 years is what they're trying to say. And I know this is false. Okay, because they want to believe that we've been to those other lands, you know, like Asia and Europe, Africa, you know, a lot longer than this land. But I want to tell you this is false. Okay, and I want to tell you why. Okay? Because God has created everything in 6 literal days. Okay? If God, I'm not sure we can bring up whole world map. Okay, here's a picture of the map right here. Okay? So where was the Tower of Babel? I believe the Tower of Babel is somewhere in the Middle East. Yeah, in Babylon, which is probably probably in Iraq. Okay? But that was an ice age during that time. So, it is true that there's a few that is scattered to Europe, which is right here. And also, this side Siberia, that's also, yeah, and also some of them, yeah, there's also some of them that's scattered to Africa, which is right here. And some of them scattered over here to India. Now, is there any other countries that started from the Tower of Babel? Well, I believe China is another country that also started from the Tower of Babel as well. Which is right here. Right there, yeah. That's another country. I believe that's another country that started from the Tower of Babel as well. Yes. Okay. Now, I asked people about where China is in the Bible. Okay? They told me is that it's the Bible, the China is called Asia in the Bible. And I know I think they pulled me into it first as it's Alpha and Omega and stuff. So yes, I believe the Bible does talk about it. China, even though the name China is not found in the Bible, I think, yeah. But I know that name India is. And so is Israel. So. Now, how do people got to this land here? If we're in the biblical perspective, well, if the Tower of Babel was in Iraq, which is the Middle East, well, I think during the United States, when people are scared of the Tower of Babel, I believe they ran away. I think that people are scared when people went to this land right here. I believe they went all the way to they walked all the way to Siberia, which is in Russia, yeah, and then they scattered all the way to this land here. I believe that's what happened during the Ice Age. Okay, that's what I believe. And some of them went all the way to this land too in South America. So that's probably how they went over there. From here to here. Okay? And that's probably how when people that's how people went to this land for the Tower of Babel. So I know people have been here for I'm going to say 4,600 years per se. Because the global flood was 4,700 years ago. And God scattered people from the Tower of Babel 100 years after. Yeah, I know that's how we got different skin colors and different languages. I know that, yes. And this is how we need to learn something here. Okay? The Bible, and I'm, you know, now, people have been in the United States of America throughout history, even way before Christopher Columbus discovered it. Okay, Christopher Columbus is not the first person who discovered America. He's not. Okay, because there's other people that discovered America before him, way before him anyway, which would be the Native Americans right here. Now, what does the Bible say about the Native Americans? Because that's what I want to get up to right now. And I know how. Now I even want to know how English became the official language of the United States of America. Well, English is from Europe. Okay? You know, from the United Kingdom. That's where English came from. Okay, I know they brought it here. Okay, and that's why the United States of America has English as their official language. Even though the United States of America, it's a multilingual country. Okay? Because there's multiple languages spoken in the United States of America. Okay? Well, I bump into people that speak Spanish, okay, and when I go to Mexican restaurants, okay? You know, that's why I'm learning that language, okay? Because And that's why I'm learning Spanish, okay? Because I bump into it. Sometimes when I go to Mexican restaurants, and there's some people that speak Spanish at my work. So, now, if you ask me if there's any other language I bump into besides Spanish, well, that's a good question right there. Because, well, I don't think I've bumped anybody that speak Korean yet, or Filipino. Okay, no, okay, sorry. It's called Tagalog, not Filipino. Sorry. Okay. I don't think I've bumped into those people yet. I think the only other language I bumped into was, okay. I don't know. I have to figure that out. Because I've been living in California for a long time. Okay, now, okay. When I went to USS Midway, okay, I was looking at airplanes, okay? And when I was looking at airplanes, I did bump into people that speak Mandarin, okay? Okay. So yeah, that's another language I did bump into as well. So yes, I did bump into that language too. Okay, so yeah, of course, Spanish is not the only language I bump into, because I bump into people that speak Mandarin too. Okay, I'm not going to. And it's because of me, yeah, living in California. So, well, because there's not just Mexicans or other Spanish speakers in California. There's also Chinese people in California, and probably Taiwanese people in California too, if I want to count Taiwan. Yeah, because I want to be that way. Okay, sorry. I know I need to get off track. I'll talk about the Native Americans after this, okay? But I want to get into why. Yeah, of course, I do want to become. Yeah, I know, I've been speaking English a lot. Well, reason why I haven't making any videos in Spanish. I'm just trying to figure this out. It's because I don't know very much. I only know how to make a little conversation in Spanish, but not a big one. Okay, that's why I'm only making videos in English right now. Okay, and you can see that too. And, look, if you want me to make a video, look, if there's, so, you might have to wait for me. You might have to wait for a few years before I can make a video in Spanish. Possibly, yeah, because I don't know, okay? I only know a little bit. I know a lot of words in Spanish, but I can't make a big conversation in the language. Okay? But yeah. And then there's also some people, and now some people told me, and I'm just trying to give you a guess. I'm trying to tell you something. Because, for me. But there's some people that tell me that I could learn Mandarin after Spanish. Let me tell you about that, okay? Because I don't want to give you off track. Well, I know it is true there's Chinese people in California. I know that. But do you think it is true that I would probably learn, even if I learn, well, let me tell you something. I do love the Chinese culture, okay, and also different holidays, and also, yes, it's super regular New Year's. I never celebrate Chinese New Year though. If I can, I would like to learn how to celebrate though. It's a different way of thinking, Now, if you're thinking about me learning, I know that the Chinese characters are hard to write because of the strokes. I know that. Okay? But the speaking, but what about the language? Well, let me tell you something. Mandarin is a tonal language, okay? When people learn that language, and just saying, they get the tones wrong, okay? And then, why? Because it takes a little practice to get the tones right. A little practice. I know a lot of people believe Mandarin is the hardest language to learn. And I don't believe it's the hardest language to learn. I believe it's a pretty easy language to learn. It's just that people have to get it's just that, and I believe the grammar is pretty easy. It's just, the grammar in Mandarin is pretty easy. It's just that, because even Chinese people will tell you that the grammar of Mandarin is pretty easy. It's that you have to get the tone, and also for the tones, I believe the tones of Mandarin are pretty easy to learn. You just have to get the tones right. That's why I believe on that. Yeah, it takes a little practice to get them right. That's what I believe. For Spanish, okay, since Spanish, well, the only hardest part of learning Spanish is the rolling R's. Yeah, and I can't roll my R's, okay? So, that's the only part, I can't do with Spanish. So, and I know I'm a European American, but you can see that there. Okay? Anyway, I don't want to go back on talking about the big old history about the United States of America. I know, I got off on a different topic about languages, of course. But I want to cover that, because I've been bumping into those. People told me about that. Yes, I do want to be fluent in Spanish. Let me tell you something. I could learn Mandarin as well, but I'll probably will learn Spanish first. Okay, and then I'll probably worry about learning Mandarin later. Okay, because I brought off learning one language at a time. Okay, and I want to learn multiple ones. I'm not trying to. I don't want to make it frustrating to myself. I don't want to make it harder on myself. Just saying. Okay. Yeah. And I know they need to talk about that. So it is true the United States of America became a country in 1776, right? Right, okay? And we need to learn about that, okay? Now, I know about the Native Americans, okay? The Native Americans. Supposedly, we have to learn about that. So Native Americans in the Bible, well, because that's how we know about the biblical history about our home country, the United States of America. Okay, it's right here. How did Native American peoples get to North America after the flood? Reduced mankind aiming from the mountains of Ararat, struggling to all people groups against the Tower of Babel. And okay, 1832 says. Okay, so. This is the ESV right here, but I'm going to read the King James Bible right here, because I don't read the ESV, I read the King James Bible, okay? And I don't read everything that ends in Genesis says, but I read it to you because it's about the history of my home country, okay? So here, this is the family sons of Noah, after the generations and the nations. These were the nations surviving the earth after the flood. Okay? It says all humans that came to Noah prior to the flood, ultimately Adam, which means they are all one family. However, this also means we're all sinners and in need of Jesus Christ. And in more detail back at Babel's description of table and nations. Yeah. But after the Tower of Babel being increasingly difficult, insertion of everyone in it, generally the Middle East, of the land of Shinar, modern-day Iraq, where Babel was. Yes, it is true that the Tower of Babel was probably in Iraq. Japheth's descendants went toward Europe. Okay, so that's what it is. Okay, Ham's went to Africa. Okay, so Ham's ancestors went to Africa. Sham's remained in the Middle East. Okay, and moving surrounding areas, of course, of this. So it's Ham's. Okay, to crush Nimrod and then a Shinar. Okay, and Jim is descendants of Middle East. Maintenance, okay, descendants. And it's of the descendants of Lemites. Okay, all lines are known as Persians. Okay, for years. I've been traced some, so known as descendants from the Tower of Babel on the number of factors. Okay. So we got Shem, Ham, and Japheth. So Japheth's descendants went toward Europe. Okay. So mine might be, so I'm probably a descendant of Japheth then. Okay? Because I'm European American. Okay? And my grandparents came from Italy. So I'm probably one of the ancestors of Japheth. Supposedly. Yeah. And it says hands went toward Africa. Okay. Yeah. So it says Shem remained in the Middle East. But it says, but there's some of, I think there's Shem descendants that lived and that went to the Far East as well. So if we're talking about East Asia, I believe Shem's ancestors were I believe the people from East Asia are probably Shem's descendants as well. Descendants from Shem as well. Okay? Just reading what this says, okay? But yeah, but it is true that Japheth's descendants went toward Europe. That means, and I'm European American, which means that I'm probably one of Japheth's descendants. Then that means Japheth must be one of my ancestors then, as well, not just even though that's me, and it makes me European American. Okay, but you have to keep reading here. So geographical names. So first names of places of people groups tend to concentrate on various places. There's no indication that people group occupied a particular area early on. For example, region of Ezeret, the Hebrew tongue of Armenia, by the Greek tongue containing Araxes Ares River. The ancient Roto people that dwell in the land area. And this name goes back to a common people group and these variations. Okay, here's just some easy place of Noah's grandson Japhan, which is still the Hebrew name of grace, or Noah's grandson Mizraim, which is still the Hebrew name for Egypt. However, when it comes to North America and even portions of South America, European settlers use of many names or provide new names. Although the names still exist, e.g., the Nebraska, the Zodiac's word for flat river, which they call Platte River. Illinois, which is the French variant of the Illinois tribe. Both have lost forgotten, then it's still a correction of the correlations will help. Okay, yes. Another issue here is being geographical names derived from many various descendants. beyond names are given in Genesis chapter 10. In other words, these places have been named grandsons of Noah's great-grandsons in this case. The Jacob family of in Babel without more information. Okay. Logically, after the further way of Babel, people travel more likely descendants of Abimelech of the torch. Continue moving, filling earth, as put for Genesis chapter 9, verse 1. The certain descendants of Noah, perhaps, things are legend in Genesis chapter 10. When travel only so far, but his descendants have put the ones back up, make up the tent and keep moving. So some names do not appear in the Babel account, become harder to trace back unless they were written down and documented, which were many American tribes did not do. Okay, language family correlations. Okay, the second factor based on language families of course. You do have rewards migrations of people. Languages also determinant of our family. So example, because of Roman language, the Latin language is abundant in many areas. So Spanish, Romanian, Portuguese, and French, and modern day Italian belong to the same language family. These are co-Romance languages. Even English is extensive Latin influence, even though English is a Germanic language. Okay? In Asia as well, Rome's grasp of a different story in India. A whole host of languages have a number of languages family that exist. Indication of numerous descendants from Babel going up in this area, in that area. The sense of crescenting of the geography found those people went toward India on their way to Asia, Australia, or other of the Americas. It is the easier route of crossing mountains, of course. The northern route through Russia / Siberia could have taken, which is possible, but the Ice Age may have made navigation more difficult and dangerous. Yes. With regards to Native Americans and a handful of language families to dominate this give of clues, it is just a side map of major North American language families. A language family consists a number of languages are similar to cover of origin and doing back Babel, of course. The languages are always changing. One roadblock in the journey of Native Americans' heritage is the certain written language. Such languages have been passed orally, which allow many changes. Even in one written language, the English 1,000 years ago is hardly recognizable with modern English speaker. Concerning Australian English did not exist 200 years ago. So although the language family may help identify relationships to various tribes and nations, it's simply not enough to tie these language families directly back to the ancestor from Babel. So we're going to make cases the connection of Babel Mech. We have progressors to the Mayans, or possibly conquered by them. Did the ancient written language isn't directly deciphered yet? Okay, and there is controversy this stage whether it's this language or African descent. Specifically, West African, this linguists are claiming. And this claim was varied. Then this is Babel connection. Many in West Africa were descendants of Phot, Noah's grandson, through Ham. They settled along the northwest of African continent and spread out around the coast. For example, Moors of modern Mauritania, Morocco, and so came on Phot. The other hands also descendants of inhabited Africa, such as Ethiopia, Mitzrayim, Egypt, and in Libya. And their descendants have still other parts of Africa too. Because there are more several languages families, which means that several language groups in its descendants. But he made from Babel, but that made it from Babel to North America without any history for the past 4,000 years or so. And this is so helpful. We need other angles. Histories and methodologies. From here is the discernment of any of histories of native tribes and nations. Sometimes this is a nugget of truth that may be discovered of accounts, even some mythologies. For example, Norse and Germanic mythologies originate or then would inhabitants of to be found post-flood genealogies into royal houses throughout Europe. Greek and Roman mythologies. And there are a few corrections to the biblical table of nations, such as Kronos, or Saturn being Kittim and Sinthamus under Japhon. So methodologies remain of truth in them, but the story is embellished. This would be an exciting area for Native Americans. Evaluate their historical traditions to pick out nuggets and truth in them, but instead of looking at any connections back in Genesis 10. In Mayan language variations of positive traditions are removed from Babel. A number of Native Americans post on the internet, but versus information familiar with others. Some of the legends have ties to their Bacchus creation. Would be accepted. There's some stories of variation over several thousand years, but it's certain enough is needed. And since God, the true creator, was kind enough to provide revelation of mankind and what really happened, he created the Bible, so give the Genesis, and invariably helps. Is the ultimate standard of the true and real history. And Genesis has not undergone changes, being wisdom of Moses and ultimately the Holy Spirit. I encourage, instead of parties, legends of the folklore of the light of Genesis says. The conclusion. So a short answer is that Native Americans originally came to North and South America as a result of the dispersion at the Tower of Babel. But to connect the migration to is the diligent search, which naturally we encourage. So that's why we got the Native Americans thing. Supposedly. If you want to know about Native Americans. Now, I know the United States of America was made, well, that's how I know, because there's people been here in this land way before Christopher Columbus discovered it, and I know that anyway. So now, if you want to know how Chinese people came to this land, the United States of America, well, the first Chinese food restaurant, I think the first Chinatown, first opened in the United States in the city of San Francisco. The first Chinatown was opened, in San Francisco, and this was in the 1800s. And that's how we got Mandarin spoken in the United States of America, and probably a few other Chinese languages as well, like Cantonese, for example. Supposedly. But and what about, and I believe the fortune cookies were made in San Francisco anyway. Okay? Even though I don't believe Panda Express is really real Chinese food, okay? I will call it American Chinese food. Real Chinese food will be from China. Supposedly, yeah. So really eating Chinese food will be in China, not the United States of America. Okay? You know I like living in the United States of America. Okay? I would just just because places says Chinese food does not make it Chinese food at all, because it's probably not. It's probably not anyway. It's probably American Chinese food. That's probably I know it anyway. And plus, I like to eat American food as well, right? Yeah. And I know there's Denny's is also is an American food as well, and you see, and so is IHOP as well. Yes. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Well, Burger King and McDonald's are considered fast food, and I know about that too. So, and I know the United States of America has been fought from a lot of wars as well, like the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, right, and also World War One and World War Two. Yeah. Yeah, I learned there's two things that are, well, first of all, there's a lot of things wrong with World War One and World War Two. Okay, it's World War One made Russia the Soviet Union. Okay? And World War Two made China communist. Okay? So that's another thing. Okay? So that's a lot of things wrong with World War One and World War Two. Okay? I don't like how World War One and World War Two came out. Okay? I'm not talking about Adolf Hitler. Okay? I'm talking about Russia. Okay? Turning into the Soviet Union. Okay? And China becoming communist during World War II, okay? I'm not talking about Adolf Hitler, okay? I'm talking about those countries. Because that's what happened during World War... Because that's what happened during World War One and World War II, okay? And that is just not good. And I know a lot of people believe that we don't vote, because I know I don't like voting at all, but a lot of people, if you don't vote, think that the United States will become like North Korea or China. But that's not true, okay? This is why I don't want to vote is because I believe the Bible, okay? And I know just because I live in the United States of America, I don't want to vote just because I believe the Bible. That's why I don't want to vote, even though I live in the United States of America, okay? You know, the Bible says you'll be God rather than men. Okay? And that's why I obey. That's why I don't care about voting. I don't care about the U.S. government. And of course, I don't care about the government of other countries either, because I care about the Bible. Okay? So, We better all follow the Bible, okay? And plus, let me tell you something, I'm against communism, but at the same time, I'm against voting too. Because we both obey God rather than men. Okay? That's what the Bible says anyway. Even though voting came from Europe. And I'm European American and I'm against voting. Yeah. Well. Yeah, I know, big deal. But that's because I believe the Bible. Okay? And the Bible is true anyway. And I want people to, well, because the United States of America is not gonna be my home for very long. Okay? Eventually I will die. Okay? And I will eventually, well, since I do believe on our Lord Jesus Christ for salvation, I know that heaven will be my next home after I die. Supposedly, yes. Okay? Once I go to heaven, okay, that will be my new home. Okay? Now, I don't know when the tribulation is going to come. Okay? I don't know. Because I really don't know when the rapture is going to come. Because we don't know. So I might either die or might get raptured during the tribulation if the tribulation comes my lifetime and I survived it. Yeah. But I don't know if there's any chance for me surviving the tribulation at all. Okay? If it comes my lifetime, and I don't know if the tribulation is ever going to come my lifetime. I don't know that, okay? Because the Bible does not say when the tribulation is going to come. The Bible does not say it. Now, what I believe the tribulation is going to come, probably in the 22nd century, but that's just my guess because I don't know, okay? And I'm not going to say anything against you if you don't know, because I just don't know, okay? Honestly, then I just don't know when it's going to come, okay? The only way we can only do it for the United States of America, my home country, is to get people saved. Is to get them saved. Okay? And since I live in California, hopefully I can try and get some people in California saved. Okay? And I'll probably just go with that. I'll probably just do California because it's where I live anyway. But people that live in other states, you can go ahead and do it in your own state. Okay? And plus, I don't know if there's another country you want me to talk about, but I do like to know about this. Okay? Now, I know I've been talking about the United States of America a lot. Okay? Because it's my home country, okay? And I'll keep talking about the United States of America throughout this time. Because, probably every video, almost. Because it's my home country anyway. Okay? Now, what about the coronavirus thing? Pandemic. I don't know about. I believe the coronavirus is here to stay, but not forever. Okay? I believe the pandemic will eventually go over, but it will be. I believe the pandemic will eventually be over, but probably not for another 5 years. Okay, that's what I believe. Okay? And it's probably going to take probably 12 years for people to go back to work, and probably for another 20 years to go back to normal, if you want to believe in this. I don't believe we're going to be I don't believe that it's, to me, if you want to believe we're going back, to me it's going to take about 20 years for the whole world to go back to normal. Okay? And I believe, that's what I believe anyway. Okay? at least 20 years more. Okay, that's what I believe. Anyway, so if you want to know how to get saved, it's right here. So, blame false witnesses and damn souls to hell. Okay, when you go to heaven, be all Lord Jesus Christ. Salvation is by faith alone, going to Jesus Christ alone. And once you say each is the truth. Okay, you can't lose your salvation. But each is that salvation you just believe on Jesus Christ for salvation. Okay, okay. Okay. So, and I hope you like this video about me talking about my home country, United States of America. So, if there's another country you want me to talk about, you know, you can let me know in the comments below. But, you know, and yes, the Native Americans were from the Tower of Babel. Okay, we're from the people from the Tower of Babel as well. Okay? I'm just reading from Answers in Genesis because, you know, I don't agree on anything that what Answers in Genesis are saying. Okay? Because I believe that salvation is by grace. And I'm King James only, and I believe in the Trinity. So. And plus, you know, yeah, you can tell me in comments below for what other countries you want me to talk about anyway. Okay, you can just let me know. But I'll keep talking about my home country. I'm all in a lot of videos. Of a lot of my Bible study videos, because it's my home country anyway. Okay? Okay. Anyway, I gotta talk about, I know there's something else I want to do is so. Yeah, I already made the video about that. I need to tell you what I don't know if tell you why if we don't know we still don't know that the United States of America is the end times Babylon yet. We still don't know that yet. But we don't know until the tribulation comes. I'll go with that. You know, we did talk about it in other videos, so just saying. And then our next video is called, What Does the Bible Say About Monsters? Okay, talk about that next video. Okay? Okay. Okay. Anyway, I can go right now. So thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. So bye.